Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, The Danish Readaholic. Today I am gonna be trying something new. It is not completely my idea, and I'm not sure if it had been done somewhere else, but my lovely friend Katelyn came with an idea that I just loved, so I wanted to film it immediately. Today I will be exploring some TikTok, I think it's called Booktube, trends out there. So the first one is, do I buy too many books? I'm not gonna be doing that one because basically you have to take all of your books off your shelf that you have not read, and I already know that I buy too many books. So I'm not gonna do that one, so sorry Katelyn. So the next one is like a hidden gem trend. I'm not sure if they actually have a name. So the hidden gem trend is a book that you read that you feel like you're the only one that's read. Maybe a book you haven't really seen on, then that would be TikTok, but this is Booktube. And that one is really hard for me because I get my inspiration from Booktube. So most of the books that I own are some that I have seen on Booktube. But yeah, I'll take a few and then see. So the first book that I'm gonna talk about is one that I have read, and this is from 2018. I was not a part of the Booktube community back then, so it may have gotten the hype that it deserved, but I think that it's just a hidden, I guess a hidden gem, and I haven't seen it even though I went back into people's videos, but I still haven't seen this book mentioned. The first book is Grace and Fury by Tracy Banghart. So this book is about two sisters that are sort of separated for reasons I'm not going to tell. But they are separated, and it's a dual, not a dual timeline, but a dual like perspective, so you follow the two sisters, so each chapter is the other sister basically. And I was not expecting this to hit me as hard as it did. So that was my first hidden gem, and I'm not going to talk about it or talk about the other ones as long as I did this one, but that one just has a special place in my heart. So the next one is a series, and I've talked about this a couple times on my channel, so I'm only just briefly gonna mention it and also just say what it's about, but there's a lot of other videos where I talk about this series. It takes place during the Taliban wars, and you follow this girl Pavana, whose father gets arrested, and then she has to dress up as a boy to sort of earn money for the family. And it's a rather short series, and as you can see, this is like the entirety of the series. In the first book, The Breadwinner, they're all by Deborah Ellis, by the way. In the first book, you follow Parvana. In the second book, you also follow Pavana after the events of the first book. The third book, you follow Parvana's friend Shasya, who also has an amazing story to tell basically, and there are a lot different personality wise, and I just find that interesting. And then the fourth book can kind of be read like by itself. Like when they reference to the first books, it is briefly explained in this, so you could read it, but I definitely recommend reading all of it. And it's so good, and it's such a quick read, and I adore this series, and like I am so glad that I picked it up. So the next trend is like showing off stories with plot twists that you really liked, and I'm trying to think of some like specific ones, and I think I have a couple, but it's not that many. Okay, so for this trend I only have 3. There's probably more, but these were like the ones where I was most shocked. The first book I have to show you is Graceling by Kristen Kishore. For obvious reasons, I cannot tell you about the plot twist, but this, I remember the first time I read it, I was like completely shook. And then I reread it and I had forgotten what the plot twist was. So when I reread it, I was like, oh yeah, shit, that happened. The magic system in here is really well done, and it's really easy to follow, and I guess this could also be a hidden gem. I did not think of that. The next one I've already mentioned, Grace and Fury. There's also a plot twist in here. 310 pages in this, and there's so much that happens, but it doesn't seem rushed. It's really good, and I was shocked with the plot twist. I guess some might have anticipated it, but for some reason I just didn't. Next one, Girl Serpent Thorn by Melissa Bashidurst. Plot twist. Let me just say that. I did not expect that at all. It got me kind of angry, and I was like, really? Really? Was that necessary? But then it just made so much sense to me. I liked it. The next trend is, let's just call it again. That's what my friend Katelyn did, so that's what I'm gonna do. And basically, it's the books that I would give anything to be able to read for the first time again. Let's just get started. Incendiary by Zoraida Cordova. I love this book. I really do, and I'm so excited to get the sequel. And I'm also gonna reread it. I'm excited to reread it, and I would actually love it if I hadn't read it, so I could experience it again for the first time. There's just a lot of interesting things with this, and like the magic system is so unique. I feel like it's unique anyways. I love the main character. She is awesome. Next up, do I even have to mention this? Maybe it's just because I am currently reading the second one and Into the Universe again that I'm like, damn this series. And the last one, Bonecryer's Moon, my new all-time favorite book. I would give anything to be able to read this with brand new eyes, let's say it like that. But reread this as if I hadn't already read it. The magic system I love, the characters I just adore, and the story itself is just really intriguing to me. Then we have Emotional, where I have to show books that killed me or made me cry a lot. That's easy. I actually only have two. Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. For reasons I cannot say, this made me cry. Like, so much. And the second one is My Name is Parvana by Deborah Ellis. This is the fourth book in the Breadwinner series, and that one specifically made me cry. It's also the one that I gave 5 stars. The rest of the series I gave 4. And this book, there's just that one point close to the end, my heart just sunk, and I was just like, I knew it was going to happen, but I really hoped it didn't. But then it did. So yeah, that was that trend. Moving on to the last one. So the last one is show a book, or let's call it lessons, and it's show a book that taught you a life lesson. There's a lot of books that teach me life lessons. I have a hard time explaining what it is. We'll see what I can find. Alright, so I have some. There's probably a lot more, but these are like the ones that I felt like I could talk about. So first, we have Grace and Fury. And with this, I feel like it taught me to fight for what I believe in, to fight for what I think is right. I use that kind of every day. I feel like this really taught me to believe more in myself and see the strength that I have instead of like the weaknesses that I have. And next, once again, give it up for the Breadwinner series. I feel like this series taught me a lot. Well, it taught me about other people's lives, like different cultures and what they have been going through. But it also taught me the importance of family and friends and how much you can survive as long as you have like your friends and your family supporting you. And then we have Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. I feel like there's a lot to learn in this when it comes to grief and acceptance. I've lost my grandmother to cancer, and that was really hard for me, and well, not only for me, but for my family. But I guess reading this sort of gave me a new perspective on it, and somehow made it not okay, but made it better. Let's leave it there. Yeah, I think that was it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it might be like it's a long one, and if you made it all the way through the video, you can leave a little emoji if you want to. You don't have to, but it would be fun. A hidden gem. Give me a hidden gem, please. I would love to have a recommendation that I don't see everywhere all the time. And so please leave a hidden gem in the comments. I would love it. I would also love it if you would hit the like button and maybe also the subscribe button if you want to see more of my bookish content. But I think that was it for this time, and bye!